This time of year, a lot of guys are asking me, is it better to use a ground blind, a lean stand, a climber, or a lock-on or a chain-on stand? My answer is always the same. It depends. On our southeast Oklahoma deer lease, we have an area that has, it's a rather large area of what I call new growth pine, here and here. And these pine trees are anywhere from 10 to 12, maybe 13 feet tall. It's pretty dense in both of these rather large areas. And in between them is an oak ridge that's covered with oak trees. It's a very defined kind of a rocky area. And up here we have the same thing with oaks up here. And what we found last February when we were scouting is the deer were using this ridge to travel back and forth to wherever they're going, and they're using this ridge to travel back and forth to wherever they're going. So we began to look at how to hunt this area, and what we originally thought when we got on this place is that we needed a bunch of lean stands or stick ladders to hunt all the trees, because there's a lot of trees on this place. So when we began to look at this area here particularly, what we found was that there's no good spot anywhere along this ridge, especially at the pinch points, to where it narrows the deer down and forces them to hit a specific spot as they're traveling back and forth. There's no good spot to put a climb on, and there's no good spot to put a lean stand or stick ladders with a chain on stand in it. There are a couple of spots we could do that, but the cover would be, the top cover would be limited, and you'd just be exposed once the leaves start falling off the trees. So what we've determined is that the only viable solution to hunting this trail is going to be ground blinds. So we've take our covert triple threat ground blinds, and we'll set those up on both sides of this. Now, here's the key to this, making this work. This ridge runs east and west. In that part of Oklahoma, your prevailing winds are out of the south. So with the west being that way and the east being that way, if you've got a prevailing wind coming out of the south, you're going to have to put a ground blind on this side. The problem is in October is when our fronts start coming in, so you can either have a south or a north wind. So we're going to put a covert on both sides at a pinch point, throw some hand corn in there, get those deer to stop when they're going up and down that trail. So which is the best kind of blind to have? In this particular case, it's a covert triple threat ground blind. This ridge up here is a little bit different. Of course, it runs north and south. We found a pinch point on it where the deer are traveling through, and we found that we can get a tripod sitting off to this side of that, leaning up in a treetop that'll give us great cover to be able to hunt that pinch point there. On this end of it, once again, the hang-ons, the tripods are not going to be an option. It's going to take a ground blind, a covert ground blind, to put on one side or the other. We'll get down there, we'll figure out exactly where our pinch point is, but we're going to put a covert ground blind down. The key to making this spot work is understanding which way the wind's blowing, understanding how to set those blinds up, brush those ground blinds in where they're not noticeable, and getting them out early.